We are back playing Total War Attila. Once again, we've got a pro versus noob scenario. Defending the city of London, we have Tharshey leading the Ostrogoths. He's going to rely heavily on those Thracian Oathsworn with their mighty charge bonus. And the second pro, who's really handsome and just awesome all around, is yours truly. I'm going to be leading the Eastern Roman Empire. Also, I'll be splicing in some live reactions because I did record the live version of this battle. Just be warned, I had members in the community hanging out in the Discord, so you might hear some strange things in the background.
Do you think the American government would be against it if I wanted to name my child Odysseus?
No. And finally, Tharshey is a YouTuber, so check out his channel. It's linked down in the video description. Now let's look at the 4 total noob players. First, we've got M. Trumper leading the Western Roman Empire. We've got Yanatan the Great leading the Sassanid Empire. We have Apex leading Himyar. And last but not least, we've got Baron von Belgium leading those pesky Caledonians. Now, the rules for this battle, if you want to recreate it yourself, the pros had 30k gold, so 15k each to spend on their armies, max 4 skirmishers, max 2 pikes, max 6 of the same unit. 1 artillery each was allowed, but one had to be an onager and the other had to be a scorpion. Defenders were allowed to use deployables, and also they were allowed to put experience or chevrons onto their troops. Now for the noobs, they were allowed 40k gold, so that's 10 gold per player, max 10 skirmishers as a team, max 2 pikes, max 6 of the same unit, no artillery, and they were allowed to spend chevrons or experience on their troops. So at the end of the day, the pros have a total of 5,920, and the noobs have a total of 11,440. Can the pros overcome such a great disadvantage and defend the precious city of London? There's only one way to find out. Let's sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Also, guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let's get this started. So the siege has begun, and the 4 attackers are going to be focusing on 3 different locations, which is pretty smart from them because it makes us have to survey much more of the battlefield, and we're more likely to do some micro mistakes. We're not going to be able to focus on one spot too much, and we got to, because if you don't pay attention, you can easily lose troops quickly. Now, we have decided to try to hold a little of everything. We're mostly going to hold this main wall here and this little section here. So the Caledonians are attacking on this wall. This area is the easiest to defend because it's a tight court. It's very close quarters. It's very easy to contain, and it's close to the town center, but we've got a strong fortification of stakes here, a barricade. So they're not, most likely if they do try to attack this way, we're going to be ready for it. Now, the more challenging location is this wall here. Now, the thing about Attila is that it's a little goofy. It's a little goofy because when the attackers gain control of the towers collapse and crumble, and they can't use the stairs under the tower. It doesn't make any sense, but we're going to take advantage of that. That's part of being pro players, okay? Taking advantage of the mechanics of the game. So what we're trying to do is we're going to try to most likely let them take the gate, but it will crumble. And I don't even think they have a ram. Oh, no, they do have a ram. So they could charge through the gate here. But the idea is to try to contain these guys into very strict positions so we can set up archers, fire from, the streets down here, get some good flank fire, and just hold them back with few troops. That's the idea. On this side, this is a bluff. I am not holding here whatsoever. We just don't have enough troops to maintain the defense. And I believe this is 2 armies worth of forces. So right away, you can see I am retreating my infantry. Now, I am going to retreat to this barricade. I'm not going to be able to go past it, but what I'm hoping is in this little narrow street, we can really hold back many forces and then have the support of the crossbows. You can see my ally here, Tharshey, with his dramatic crossbows ready to support. So we're going to see how that plays out. On the other side, the fight is starting to pick up here. Now, one thing to note, guys, is that we need to be cautious of the enemy flanking our defensive position here. So since we're giving up this area, they can easily start pushing down these streets and putting a little bit of a flank on our formation here. So it's all, look, this is, and I'm probably going to stress this many times during this battle, but when you're outnumbered like this, it doesn't matter. Obviously, there's a bit of a skill gap, but they have so many troops. They have room for error. We do not. So micro is king. You've got to maintain your units. And here we go. He's running by these crossbows. Look at him just getting absolutely splattered on the streets. And that's going to break them. And that's the Celtic warriors of Caledonia fleeing for their lives. We got more infantry going through the gates. Now, unfortunately, they're going to burn the city down. There's not much we can do about it. We're going to take the negative cost of them burning the city, because if you didn't know, the more damage they do to the settlement, it lowers your morale, it lowers your fighting ability. There's not much we can do. We're trying to defend as much as we can in terms of the outer section, you know, outside of the town center. We're trying to defend as much as we can, but unfortunately, they're going to burn some buildings down, and we just don't have the manpower to prevent that. Now, I was not allowed to use wall artillery, so I forgot to not bring them. So they just sat there. They didn't do anything. I didn't tell them to fire at will. And here we go. We got our first clash of infantry. Eastern Armored Legion versus some Sogdian warriors from the Sassanids. Or the Sassanids? Yeah, that's it. So they are, they've got some pajama boys fighting against our infantry. And the key here is just, again, fight. Almost like Thermopylae, fight in these narrow locations where we can hold back many with few. We are putting up a little bit of a gate defense because the gate does provide oil support. So they charge troops in, oil drops on them. And what we're doing here is a little hammer and anvil. We've got my Eastern Armored Legion. They are going to be the anvil, and the hammer is the Thracian Oathsworn, which have really good charge capability. 90 charge bonus. Really good stuff right there. We do have a fight over here. We've got more infantry from my ally holding back our opponent, just trying to maintain this position here. And we're trying to maintain the gate, I believe. Eventually, it will fall to them. Eventually, we will lose the walls because... Oh, and here's a little bit of a fight going on in the street as well. The Caledonian Axemen charging into my legion. So they are defending this side. So that's the other issue with how do I keep forgetting? Caledonians. That's the issue with them is they're, and again, they're easy to contain, right? Like I said, they only have this thin road here that we're going to have to defend. Here comes Tharshey with some Thracian Oathsworn to support. And they could charge down this street into our barricade. They're not going to do it because everything here, guys, there's no path. All this space right here leads to nothing. So there's only one way they can go, which is down this street, which is going to, again, another narrow point. That's why we were very selective about where we're going to defend, where we're going to hold, and we're going to try to make the most of choke point areas so we can have few fighting many. And that is how we're going to win this. So Thracian, Gothic, Palatina defectors. They're also pretty solid infantry, holding back the pajama boys. Assassinids. And now we have a ton of infantry. You can see that Western Rome is taking their time here, establishing their forces. There's not much we can do about this. Like I said, we have given up this location. We do have a tower currently opening fire on them, though. Check this out. They have yet to capture it. And again, this is so silly, guys. I mean, it works out in our favor in the long run, I think. But capturing these towers destroys them. But they're still doing their best, and there it is. Look at that. Why? Why did they do that in Attila? The Rome 2 system was so much better. But the thing is when Creative Assembly makes these games, they don't have multiplayer in mind. So they do silly mechanics like this. So it's up to the community to come up with rules to try to make a more fair and interesting experience in multiplayer siege battles. So my Eastern Armored Legion holding back still, doing a great job. The Caledonians are going all in over here. Unfortunately, they have killed one of my infantry. I do have some guards kind of hanging back a little bit, it looks like. I think I want to charge, but I'm going to let my my ally with this Thracian Oathsworn kind of hold the fort right now. Actually, no, my infantry's still in there. Look at them. They're still fighting the good fight against an just outnumbered. So looking at the total numbers now, so we've lost less than about 400, and they've lost a couple thousand. So we're doing good so far, and that is why you've got to defend the walls. And you also want to defend outside. I know a lot of newer players in here, they're charging through the gate as we speak. That's good. Oil's coming down, doing damage to these guys. My guys are going to break. They're in Testudo, but they're going to break that so they can get their swords going. And I'm going to start chipping down these spears. I think they're on the verge of, yeah, they already are breaking. But that was a smart play. Try to catch 2 units locked in so he can't flank. But now I will be able to flank if I take advantage of that. Let's see. It might not be. So now we've got Western Rome still pushing, taking his time. And Himyar, can't forget about Himyar. Himyar is going hand in hand with the Western Romans. Over on this side, we've got a sneaky bridge, and this is actually pretty smart from the attackers. They're going to keep their cav back here, and he's just waiting. I've got my pikes kind of watching this area, but he's just waiting for me to lose focus or forget about this area and charge in. We'll see if that happens. But oh, also he can burn down this part of our city. This is such crap. You can burn down this city. It looks like he's even trying to do that, which is, you know, not necessarily a noob play right there. That's actually a pretty pro play, if I say so myself. Let's head back over to the main fighting here, though, because they were able to sneak in a unit of these teachers, not your traditional teachers, that is, but they are sneaking in. I charged in my deadly Byzantine guards here with the big old axes. Unfortunately, I didn't get off a good charge with them. I'm gonna charge these guys. Once your swords break, I'll charge with my axes. Here we go. Should I use Unbreakable?
No, you don't need to.
Okay.
That's only if you're gonna get rear charged, then you pop that and you don't get the
Right. So they'll fight to the death.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that charge. That was beautiful. They only have 62 kills, which sounds like a lot, but the unit is more than half gone. You want this axe unit to get hundreds upon hundreds of kills, at least 200, at least. And that's kind of what we need to do. I throw in another armored legion into the fight to support my axes and to maintain this position, because we're not quite yet ready to give up this flank. We're not ready to fall back. So this is our mindset going into this battle, guys. Here's our mindset. Try to exhaust as much ammo and resources from the attackers. You can see here Western Rome is using his crossbows to utterly crush these pikemen and spears. They've got the spears kind of in shield wall trying to block some of the projectiles. It's just is not much we can do about this. We just kind of have to sit here and hope that he doesn't get as many kills as he's planning on getting. Also, we've moved up our own skirmishers to try to silence his skirmishers.
Yeah.
I'm setting crossbows up. So we're starting to get to the point, guys, where we're losing a lot of troops here, and we've got to just we just got to cut our losses. We cannot maintain this entire area. We just don't have enough troops. It's starting to get to a point where the attacker's grip is getting too tight, and we're gonna have to let them take it and fall back to safer territory before we don't have any troops left over. Now this is smart from and look at this. We've got a little bit of a flank here by these Thracian Oathsworn. So trying to get them by surprise, but unfortunately Himyar is going to send in some Kushite infantry, and they're going to counterflank. And this Thracian Oathsworn has over 200 kills, so it's not the end of the world that they got counterflanked, but that's not ideal when we're dealing with such a huge disadvantage. So I'm thinking about sending in reinforcements that way so I can counter his counterflank. But they also are sending over a unit to counter my counterflank. So some Kushite infantry running down our streets. And it was about this time when we were starting to think of the idea of falling back, of getting out of there. And here we go. Look at, that's actually pretty smart there. I actually save the Oathsworn right there from total annihilation. I actually pulled this Kushite Shotel warrior from the fight. Unfortunately, I had a lot of my units off fire at will because I really wanted to manage and control how I throw the projectiles, because they've got darts, right? And that can really rack up some kills. But unfortunately, I wasn't microing well, and I forgot to turn on fire at will, so they didn't use any of those darts. So we're just trying to fight the good fight here. I'm holding this choke point here. On this side, we do have some infantry that's advancing. That's good. We preserved most of the pikemen and the spears from the enemy crossbows, at least for now. And the Caledonians are still being pushed back here. Still being pushed back. Eastern Armored Legion mixed in with my axes. The axes made up a little bit of the poor start. If you guys remember, I only had like 50 kills. They're now almost at 100, and they will fight to the death. So they're doing pretty good, and we could cause a mass rout here. We could. And I see that they've got some archers nearby on the other side of the wall, so I thought it would be a good idea to send up some crossbows and to fire down directly on these guys.
I could try to run a crossbow up on the walls, fire down in his bows.
You can, yeah. I mean, yeah, but we have to hold them. Don't let them get caught out.
As long as my infantry can hold back his, we'll be able to get some good shots, and that's a big part of our victory, guys. Oh, by the way, there's a lot going on here. We got some cavs cycling in and out on this elite infantry that we're trying to chip away at.
He's got... Yeah, I'm gonna charge the infantry.
Yep. Yeah, charge the inf, and then I will hit them in the back of the shock cap.
King. King.
I'm gonna get out of your way.
Yeah! Any opportunity to get a good flanking charge, we gotta take it. We have to take it, and that's what we're doing. I've got my general cycle charging in too. They're a melee cav. They're not gonna have as great of a charge, but they're trying. And things are at the point where we gotta get out of here. We're getting overrun. My swords are about to break here. A nice stand by Tharshey with his pikes and spears breaking 3 units. That's really nice. And now he's cycling in fresh troops. It's a matter of time, guys. We just don't have enough men to hold the outer works of the settlement. And we're getting to the point where we got to cut our losses. We've got to cut our losses and get out of here.
I think we gotta back up.
I think, yeah, don't commit anything more. Just start pulling back whatever you can save. Get your crossbows off the wall, or is it too late?
No, it's not too late. I'm gonna get my axes in there.
Get them off the wall.
We do have some artillery firing. Look at that. You saw some explosion there, explosive pots. The artillery is so deadly. I've got my axes. This is a fresh unit of axes. They're going to try to charge in and kill these guys because the morale is already low. Now some rubble's falling because they've taken the, unfortunately, they've taken the tower. So I've got my guards. They've got 52 kills. Again, I just feel like I'm not using these guards that well. They're just not, they need to get, they're doing a little bit better. They're at 70 now. But what I'm trying to do here is I got to make sure these crossbows get out alive. I got to try. I'm looking back on this. I think what I should have done here is just hold my ground and fire at the incoming infantry. But the sad truth is that I was busy microing and I didn't see this until right at that moment.
Careful, careful, your crossbows, your crossbows.
Oh no, oh no.
70 Legio down, 70 Legio down.
So I'm going to run my infantry out of here. Thankfully, we defeated the enemy infantry. We're going to countercharge because we got to protect this flank. So I've got my infantry left over here. This is the original gate guards, almost at 100 kills. I got to get my crossbows out of here. But guess what? The enemy has broken through Tharshey's stand. And there is no retreat now. It has been completely cut off.
Oh no, he's going down the main road. He's going to cut me off.
Just try to use your crossbows then, I guess. Just try to use them and shoot something. I don't know.
I'm just going to get him on the wall.
Defensive positions.
So my crossbows are screwed. You can see I'm retreating my axes, falling back to a safer position. The Caledonians are bearing down on us as they break through this flank, and you can see the carnage that took place here, the absolute struggle for this choke point. It's over now, and now a new struggle will begin elsewhere. So my only choice here with my crossbows is to put them up on the walls. I'm going to rush them up on the walls, and they're going to basically try to get as many kills as possible before being crushed. I've got my swords trying to charge in and to slow down these elite Palatina infantry of Western Rome. Unfortunately, Himyar is going to make this little stand. Oh, wait, no, they decide not to. That's actually a smarter play to go for the crossbows because I would have blasted them from behind in the most war-focused way. And that's exactly what I mean. So, yeah, elite crossbows. They're getting some kills, but right now they have one. So this was a huge, huge blunder.
Yeah, dang it, dude. That's a big mistake. That's a big mistake.
Huge blunder. You cannot lose crossbows like this. And they are starting to get some kills. They're doing something. But yeah, that was a big blunder on my part. You got to make sure you maintain a retreat path. You've got to make sure. Over on this side, we kind of missed it, but there was a struggle over here. I had some infantry trying to support the crossbows. The crossbows end up with 468 kills. So this was a net positive for us, I believe. So that was our intention. And now the barricade is under attack. You got to save the crossbows. Even though they're out of ammo, you got to save them. And guys, now we have officially called our retreat. We have called our retreat, and we are going to put up our final stand.
Actually, instead of retreating them there, keep them here. Just hold this. It's better
Okay.
than trying to
Okay, yeah.
wide path. I'll use my
Happy to serve.
I'll kind of hold further back.
At speed.
Okay,
Just
that's fine.
good-
That's fine.
yeah.
And you might be thinking, well, this is surely over. It is surely not. All right. First off, we still have 20 minutes in the replay. There's still a lot of fighting left. We have taken them down to 5,700, but we are down 2,700. So we lost. We lost a lot. Was this the cleanest defense? No. We made a lot of micro mistakes, but there is always time to recover. There's a chance here that we can turn this around. And how are we going to do it? Well, this little weapon right here. This is the large onager that is capable of getting 1,000 kills by itself. And not only is it capable of getting mass casualties, but it's also capable of causing mass fear. The only way we're going to win this battle is by breaking the enemy's spirits. We've got to crush their morale and cause a chain rout. Killing all these soldiers. And look at this, was a nice little bait there by Tharshey. He was trying to use the crossbows to get this cab to chase after him, to run into my pikes. All right, watch your crossbows, your crossbows.
Yeah, I know. It's fine, come on. Oh, I was trying to bait him. I was trying to bait his charge.
Unfortunately, he doesn't take the bait, but it was a good effort by Tharshey. So yeah, this is a desperate situation where we've got to try to break the morale of the enemy. How do we do that? Well, any chance that we have an opportunity of focusing down their generals, we need to take it. Okay, we need to take it, because no general means no morale, or at least weaker morale, especially with the Caledonians. They're kind of like a barbarian-esque faction, if I'm not mistaken. So here we go. It appears that they are going to be attacking 2 different routes. Now, I have decided to move my pikemen into this street here and a little further back than this fortification, because they have to kind of run down here and then we can fire down on them. Now, I'm trying to get my ballista firing. This is my Scorpion. I'm trying to get it to fire, but for some reason they just will not do it. Like, just shoot. Just shoot. What are you doing? I mean, seriously, where are they going? What, like, oh man, these Scorpions.
Oh, hey, stable.
I'm gonna sleep with their wives, like, if they don't get this stuff going. But I'm getting very frustrated at this point, because I'm telling them to fire at specific targets. I'm telling them to fire at will. It looks like they are gonna fire. Look at, are you gonna fire? They just don't do it. And it's really frustrating. I move up my crossbows because now they definitely won't fire. So I don't know, just a little tip, excuse me. I don't think the Scorpion will fire from up here. Here comes some artillery. Oh, nice. Going after it for the crossbows. That's smart. Trying to get rid of their archer force. I've got my crossbows up here, trying to fire back. Even the crossbows, I just feel like aren't really opening fire here. It could be because they're not turned on fire at will. Nice little hit there by the artillery again. You can see. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at the flames. My goodness, this is a sight. Hold on, hold on. This is a sight right here. This is a cinematic moment. Some people wait a lifetime for a moment like this. Look at the city burning. It's just it's like end of the world. And it really was the end of the world as they knew it. But that's juicy. I love that artillery. Look at the fire burning across our town. There's nothing we can do about it. Here comes some artillery. Oh, yeah. That's what we need. We need more of that. So just trying to... Oh, here comes more. This is AI controlled. If you see one... Oh, my gosh. If you see one shot coming down, it's player controlled. If you see multiple shots coming down, it's AI controlled. Or it's like, you know, the unit is controlling itself. Now, he charges in some cav here. And I am now moving my Scorpion down to this street level because they will not fire here whatsoever. My crossbows are finally opening fire as we speak. And the Scorpion, hopefully, can land some hits here. Now, they do have to fire over some friendly troops. Look at this. This is also another beautiful cinematic. Not nearly as cinematic, but there we go. They're loading up. And how many kills do they have? 0. And just like that, in one volley, they have 13. So we're trying to save that. Now, over here, there's a massive push against Tharshey and his pikes. And this is good. This is definitely really good. This is going to definitely cause a lot of casualties and break their spirits as we continue to desperately hold on to the town center. Here comes... Ooh, that was a bad artillery. It's risky. It's so close. It's really risky. How many kills does this thing have? 310. 310. So my Scorpion still opening fire. Now has 64. Hallelujah. has 64 kills. So they are you got to get your money's worth out of these units. The Caledonians are down to a handful of troops. So we pretty much have taken out their force. They have been in the fight from the beginning. Same with the Sassanids. So really, it's coming down to Western Rome and Himyar. Two scary factions. Two very scary factions. But it is good to see that a lot of breaking units are appearing for the Caledonians. You can see the generals running up too, because I think he's just trying to keep the spirits of his troops high. We've got Western Rome with some troops up here. They're trying to throw javies. They're doing everything they can to try to weaken this pike position. Now we've got some archers charging in, which is an interesting play. The Royal Persian Archers. And we've got Tharshey's pikes or crossbows with my pikes. And my ballista or scorpion still opening fire, just going for really just the units in the back. The nice thing is that this is a narrow street, so it really opens up opportunities for this scorpion to land some hits. And they are opening fire on this huge column of troops. If we kind of just sit back, oh my gosh, there's another juicy. Look at that. Look at the arrows over there. That's just cool stuff. Now, something sad is going to happen here. Something very, very sad. You see this enemy cav unit coming in, completely oblivious. My scorpion has no idea. I have no idea. This is a well-timed attack by the noob team, going in with some shock cav, and this is the moment where I'm like, no.
There's cav coming in the back. They're gonna snipe here.
No!
Oh no, the back.
I start war with Rome. Bruh. Rome, leave me alone.
I try to counter with my infantry. I try to drop the artillery and get my guys out of there. And now he's charging behind my pikes and charging the archers. So what I tell Tharshey is to hold with his crossbows, and I'm going to try to turn my pikes around to deal with this cav. Move up your crossbows to stop their crossbows.
Yep.
The cav is dropping quickly, but I feel like the damage is done. And unfortunately, they're not dropping quick enough. Actually, my pikes stay forward. And I think it was the opposite. I think I told my ally to focus on the cav while the pikes hold back the infantry. But they are breaking. Tharshey sent in his general. I sent in my swords. And unfortunately, my scorpion, they are still intact. They end up with 109 kills, but they're going to be finicky because they're already wavering. They're down so few troops. And we do save the pikes, but unfortunately, we've got archers now that are going to fire almost point blank into the pike formation. And it's not going to be pretty. So that was a good charge. They took out a key element to our defense. A really good charge there. Really solid stuff. Here comes more artillery going for the archers. You know, they go for our important units. We're going to go for their important units, which are archers and generals. We got to take, because their killing potential is much higher with the archers. The infantry struggle because they're taking on pikes. They're taking on elite infantry in close quarters. The archers, though, can definitely wreck some havoc. Not they can rack up kills, I guess is what I was trying to say. Anyways, a nice little charge there. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty angry at this point. So I was bloodthirsty there. So I charge in to silence those crossbows because they made me upset. But you crossbow is. Sorry. But it was having fun. It was like it was a fun anger, if you know what I mean. It wasn't a genuine. It was just getting lost into the battle and the excitement of it. So yeah, nice little hold there. Nice strategy by the attacking team. We are running out of troops. I'm preserving my best of the best to hold back. I've got my pikes. I got a fresh pike unit coming this way to set up. So things are not forever lost. Things are not... It's not over. And I know you're looking at an ocean of red units here, but I'm telling you guys, all it takes is a couple good hits with the arty. Here we go. Boom! Yes! And the general is in this blob as well. I think the Caledonian general, it's not a big deal because his army's already gone pretty much. But still, it's a good unit. And I know the fire is going to spread fire amongst the town. But this is a risk we're going to have to take. Oh, get him. Oh, hallelujah.
The general is dead.
Yo!
Yo! Gen kill, let's go.
And you can see our settlement damage is at 59%. Our morale is -11. Our melee attack is, that's a big chunk. But this is our Hail Mary. This is our hope, our final hope to try to win this battle by breaking the morale of the enemy. Now, he is sneaking over this way. He sent over Cav to try to destroy these stakes. This cannot be taken. This cannot be destroyed. So I have decided to send over a unit of axes, and they do have throwing capability. I shouldn't have sent this unit, honestly. I just kind of rushed one over. I should have sent this depleted one. They already have 93 kills. But I'm just going to run this way and turn on fire at will so they can throw their darts or whatever they got. So this is another tragic moment in the battle here. He tries to flank. He does a little column flank through my pikes. You know how you can kind of form... We kind of missed it, but you can form a little bit of a column. That kind of works. It kind of breaks my my pikes. My pikes aren't having it. They only have 7 kills, but they're getting hit by archers. They're right next to burning fire. This would legit be insanely hot to stand next to. I mean, have you ever gone to a hibachi grill? All right, that's a small flame and it gets hot, okay? This is gonna melt your skin off, even just being that close. Now I've got my axes. They've got to go in. They have to. So they're gonna charge in and plug this important flank. The general's nearby. Here we go. So now I'm setting up these axes. The cab is breaking over here, so good there. Unfortunately, Tharshey's pikes have had enough. They've got 258 kills. Now we've got Himyar charging in some elite infantry. We've only got a small unit defending, so I've got to push up everything. This is it. This is all our marbles. We're going in. What does that even mean? This is all our... This is for all the marbles. Not, this is all our... You get what I'm saying. Nice little hit there in the archers. But honestly, we've got to break the infantry. He's going to get another... Yeah, good hit right there. He's doing a great job with that artillery. Keep it up. There's a chance we can win this. There's units breaking in their ranks. They're falling back here with their infantry because my axes are chewing them up. They have 113 kills and still have 131 men in the unit. I've got a unit of pikes watching the rear just in case. It's more or less a tripwire. They're not going to hold back. Well, they could. That's a decent number of pikes. But yeah, they have fallen back, which is good. This is great. And now the infantry's pushing up at our final defense. Our final defense. But look at this. This is a high risk, but we have to do high risk tactics. This is a desperate tactic for us to win this battle. And I know you're looking at the balance of power, but it is deceiving because if we can just break mass amount of troops, we can win this battle. They only outnumber us by 1,400. Not impossible. It is not impossible. Our crossbows need to start racking up kills. I got to get more kills than this on my crossbows. I have to. Over on this side, they're just chilling over here. They are just chilling. I am going to be honest with you guys. I do cheat a little bit, okay? I do try to activate this wall artillery. I wasn't supposed to have it. It got 2 kills. Okay, relax. but I was desperate. Okay. So it's, you know, it's what, it's just funny. But here comes another. Yes, he has been spot on with these shots. I've got my crossbows trying to hit the Roman general, trying to kill him. He's in Testudo though, so it's gonna be tough to try to take him out. And here comes, actually, it looks like I'm firing at the, yeah, I'm firing at the cab. This is the Himyar general. But I think I was firing at the Palatina guards here of the General of Rome previously. All right, here comes infantry coming over to this side. My axes here have 244 kills. They're doing work. But they got to keep it up. We've got some Thracian Oathsworn waiting in reserve. I've got more axes coming up from the flank. This is it. All my infantry is pretty much engaged in the fight. We've got archers helping out my axes. We're trying to defeat Himyar as they push up some deadly heavy melee infantry. My crossbows going after generals. I'm going after generals. I'm doing everything I can. Okay, now I'm going after the Roman general. He's now down to 61, but I'm having to fire over buildings. It's not a direct line of sight. It's not the best. It's not the best. So now I've got my 2 axes in here trying to hold back Himyar. They're falling back. They're breaking. Now the artillery, unfortunately, used up all its ammo, getting 920 kills. 920 kills. That is, oh, that's their last shot. And it does get a couple more troops. Unfortunately, it wasn't the cleanest of hits, but it does get 1 or 2 men there. So now they finish with 922. Maybe they've got another shot. No, that's it. That's all they got. Now we've got a massive push by the Romans. This is it. This is our moment. Can we break them? Let's not forget, we also have some cav. We got the generals here trying to break their spirits. And this is where I'm trying to turn my crossbows and deal with the enemy general. Unfortunately, this is a general where his army is mostly dead anyways. I'm trying to run my crossbows over to this ledge so I can fire down on the Roman infantry.
Get your elite ballistari like a long yell or something and just try to shoot down. Maybe, ooh, yeah, maybe you can get it over here, shoot into the sides.
Oh
of
yeah,
these
true,
guys.
true.
The Romans still have a lot. Now looking at the kills, unfortunately, they've done a lot of damage to us. Unfortunately, they have broken us pretty well. They've killed quite a bit. Now we've got, these guys are insane. The Athar's Chosen, these guys have infinite morale. You want to kill these guys from far away with archers. They were smart and kept them in reserve and kept them far away from our archers. But if we can kill them, if we can break, well, we can't break them, but if we can kill them, there is a chance we can win that, because that's an important unit for them. But we're going all in here. My crossbows, unfortunately, are doing nothing over here. They're not firing. And look, he formed Testudo here. Look at this. Pretty good plays for Noobs. Very good plays. And now we've got some pikes in position. We've retreated the pikes from here to hold here. We're trying desperately to hold them back. But the biggest concern is over here because I have no more axes. And this unit is charging in. I'm trying to... what I do here is I turn my crossbows around and just fire at these guys on the flank. This is actually a pretty good moment. There's some Oathsworn coming in. Honestly, the Oathsworn shouldn't have charged that angle because they got in the way of my crossbows. They should have just directly charged forward, and then my crossbows would get some flank fire on them. But now I got to fire at this unit down here, because there's nothing holding them back. So I'm going to just unload on these guys and start chipping away at their numbers. But these guys will not break. I'm telling you, they will not break. They are crazy zealots. They'll fight to the bitter end. Good for them. We've got the artillery pieces trying to block the path of the Romans, because if we can cause a mass rout, there is a chance here, guys. There is a chance. Oh, man. It's not looking good, though. We're down to 1:24 in this battle replay. We only have 500 men. They have 1,700. If we could just get a few more kills, these units will not break. They will not break. My crossbows have almost 100 kills here. They're trying. We've got Rome charging in on the other side as well. Unfortunately, my army lost the will to fight and are now breaking. It's up to Tharshey. But even Tharshey's army is starting to break, and it is quite clear that the pros will fall this day. But it was a great battle. This was intense, guys. This was intense. If I think we could have won this battle, I genuinely think we could have won this battle if we cleaned it up a little bit. If I didn't lose my crossbows, if I didn't lose my scorpion.
Yeah, if that cav didn't sneak up on the scorpion, I think we could have won.
They still had about half ammo. They could have gotten 100 more kills. I could have gotten a couple hundred more kills with that crossbow unit that I lost on the walls, which only ended up with a dozen kills or so. So, you know, that's the biggest thing. Look, that's the biggest thing when you're the pro. Micro management. You gotta be on top of it, and that's something that I was not. But great job to Tharshey. I think we still put up a defiant defense. And GG to all the attackers. They did a fantastic job. Really did some good plays there that made this very difficult. So let's end the replay. Look at the results. I wish Attila showed total kills. I believe Tharshey got more kills than me. Because of his artillery and one of his crossbows getting 400 kills. The other one getting 40. See, that's a missed opportunity. And one of his pikes getting 39. That's another missed opportunity. So there's a couple things here that we just didn't capitalize on. You really got to use the best of your units, the best of their ability. On my side, got some decent kills with the axes. Could have been a little better. Crossbows could have gotten more kills. One got 20. Like I said, that was the one that got caught out. But my crossbows, they could have done a little better there. Infantry did okay. One got 37. That's no good. 71 is not enough. One unit here got 3 kills. Not good. 7 kills for the pikes. So obviously there's places that we could have cleaned up on. But yeah, shout out to, and I'll show you their stats as well. But shout out to all the other players here. This was a lot of fun. I love these pro versus noob scenarios. If you have any cool scenario ideas, let me know down in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this battle as much as I did. And guys, I will see you next time on the battlefield.